Too many disciples and saved folks sitting around waiting for Superman to show up and deliver them, instead of realizing that they had been empowered to work out their own soul salvation. This woman didn't ask for consensus or permission, but determined, if I can touch his garment, I'll be made whole. Note, she did not equivocate in her resolve. There was no, I'll be made whole if it's God's will. If God has this for me, I'll be made. She knew, this is not the way I'm supposed to be living. This is not the life experience. And I will be made whole if I can touch him. How do you hold that resolve when you don't have any reason to know that? We've got preaching, we've got teaching, we've got Bible stories. Something in her register that I don't care. I'm going to try this. I'm going to touch him and I'm going to be made whole. She already spent everything. She went from place to place, but she went looking for what was healthy, what was normal, what was functional. It is God's will that we overcome, so there's no need for us to equivocate when we pursue being healthy, when we pursue being made whole. No sense saying, I'm going to break depression if it's God's will. I'm going to overcome low self-esteem if it's God's will. I'm going to overcome my anger issues if it's God's. Yes, it's God's will. Let's make that happen. Let me make it simple for you. It is God's will that all men come to repentance, that you have life more abundantly. So when you make these determinations, no sense saying, if it's God's will, it is God's will. And in due season, it happens. It's left to us to find the courage to stand in the liberty where he has made us free and not be entangled with the yoke of bondage. Last time we discussed discipleship. We talked about the commission of a disciple, and we discussed where they're giving power, proclamation, instructions for provision, and a promise of persecution. You know, remember I had the big whiteboard up and we detailed that, and I asked which one of these things scare y'all the most. And for some of y'all, myself included, the one that scared us most was the notion that we were an empowered people. The idea that God gave us power over illnesses, spirits, deformities. Or in a broader sense, the idea that God has empowered us to be a living affirmation of our proclamation can be a terrifying notion. And we have to ask ourselves, why does that scare us to the degree? Why does the idea that God has empowered me to do something scare me? Why am I afraid to use the authority that he has given me in my own life? Why am I bound by things that he has given me power over? And why am I afraid of trying to sow into somebody else? Is it because we're worried about getting embarrassed? What happens when it doesn't work? If it doesn't work, if I make a mistake? We worry about all that stuff and instead act powerless in the midst of circumstances that he has given us power over. The idea that we have authority to stand against social convention, realistic expectations, family and religious tradition, combined with the chance that, sometimes you're going to falter, sometimes you might make a mistake, sometimes you might embarrass yourself, leaves many of us to act as though we can't. We have no power unless somebody else does something for us. There is no such fear in this woman who determined to take hold of that which God intended her by any means necessary. Her resolution is not one that is formed at the beginning of the year and breaks 3 weeks later, but one that carries her through 12 years of illness and ostracism until she reached Jesus. I will be made whole. I've been struggling for 12 years, but I will be made whole. I tried this and I tried that, and this failed, and things got worse and things got more messed up, but I will be made whole. Not I can't, because there's nobody there to help me, but Jesus is passing by. I'm going to grab hold of this thing, and I will be made whole. I'm going to invest my whole life in trying to get better. I'm going to put everything I've got, everything I know, and to try to find a solution on my own. But when Jesus comes by, I will be made whole, because my dysfunction does not define my new normal.